There seems to be this idea that if white people are capable of being nice to black people or people of color, that somehow they're not racist. And that is some bullshit. And it really detracts from the fact that if you're in a position of power and privilege, it's not difficult for you to be kind or nice to people who are in a position of inferiority, not inferiority, but basically who you think are inferior. People who you think that are inferior, right? If I'm in a position of power and privilege, it's not a sacrifice for me to be kind to you. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What would be a big difference is white people challenging the racist anti-blackness views they have within themselves, acknowledging, first of all, that they have those views, and then doing something about it, talking to their white communities about these things, talking to white churches about taking white Jesus off the walls, really going out there and trying to change policy, trying to change laws, calling out other white people on their racist shit, calling out your family members on their racist shit. And again, acknowledging that regardless of how many black friends you have, if you don't care if you're married to a black person, don't care if you have black children, you still harbor white supremacist views. And there's too many white people out there that think that just because they're nice to black people or go to a black church, or I like Kendrick Lamar's performance, or I voted for Obama, or I have a black lover, or whatever bullshit you want to say, that means that you're not a white supremacist, or that excuses you from white supremacy. It doesn't. You still have fucking work to do. And if you actually know these black people, because I question if y'all really have black friends. If you actually know these black friends you're involved in all this black culture, then you should be more committed to addressing white supremacy because you see the pain and suffering that it's causing the black community. And here's the other reality. You can have black friends that are still, their black friends were raised under white supremacy. Your black friends are conditioned to center white comfort. So even if they see you doing a bunch of racist, anti-black bullshit, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're comfortable enough to call you out on it because they still understand there's a power structure at play and you still have all the fucking privilege and power and they don't. So just because you have black friends doesn't mean they feel comfortable calling out all your racist shit all day, every day, because that's exhausting. And it doesn't mean that you're somehow exempt from your responsibility to address racism within yourself. Because what that ends up doing is white people think that, oh, because I'm nice black people and I have black friends, that somehow I'm not the problem. And there's too many white people trying to separate themselves from the bad white people. And the reality is it's all of you, whether it's you're a fucking Nazi or you don't, it's still all of your fucking responsibility to dismantle this shit and the horrors that you have inflicted on black people, indigenous people, and other people of color. I don't care how many black friends you have. That's not enough. You need to do more. And just because you're nice to black people, I'm nice to black people, I'm nice to the darkies. Who gives a shit? It's really easy to be nice when you have power and privilege and when you have a whole system that is benefiting you and lifting you up. It's much harder to be fucking nice when you're oppressed all the goddamn time and you spend all day, every day fighting for your rights, fighting to be respected, fighting to be seen as fully human. When you don't have to fight that fight all the time, it's nothing for you to be nice to people. And being nice is not what racism and white supremacy and anti-blackness is about. It's so much more than that. And so the fact that people just think that that's all it is some bullshit. And you having black friends does not exempt you from having to dismantle white supremacy. Straight up.